Hello, snack pack. Remember when I used to do this when I was living in my van? I would wake up and start filming, and then I would show you where I was at. Like pull my little window shades down and be like, this is where I slept last night. Well, this is where I slept last night. In my bed, in my apartment. I miss those days. I really do. I miss the journey. It's like when you wake up in a different spot every day, it's kind of exciting to see where you are, because half the time I would park late at night and really not be able to see where I was sleeping that night until the morning. So it was kind of a cool thing for me too. But now I wake up alone in the same room every day. It's kind of boring, to be honest. I feel like I am bored a lot here in this small town. And on that note, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I just don't belong here or anywhere. I don't know. But these are deeper thoughts that I need coffee for. Coffee's brewing. I'm gonna make my morning psyllium husk drink. This is the one I use. It's the organic India psyllium husk, and it's literally just the psyllium husk. I used to take like Metamucil or whatever, but it has like a lot of dyes and stuff in it, so now I just use this one. Look at this cutest cup of my kids when they were little kids. My daughter-in-law gave me this. So I started out with a 1/4 teaspoon because you don't want to add too much and then have the diarrheas. But now I do 1/2 teaspoon plus a little pinch more, because when you blend the water or juice with it, it kind of sticks to the side, so I don't feel like I'm getting like all of it when I drink it. So I'll just get like a doop. And then I just, whatever juice I have. I'm trying this new thing. It's called Mango Gold from Wild Wonder. It's a little prebiotic, probiotic sparkling drink. It's okay. And I just use like 1/2 cup. You could drink this without a juice. You could just do water, but I don't really love the taste. Bottoms up. I don't love it, but it does keep me regular. So like in an hour, things are gonna be moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? Always the first sip that's the best. Currently I'm using the Chobani like original flavored creamer, which it's actually really good. It has very few ingredients, but it does have natural flavors, and I'm trying to cut back on a little bit of the sugar and anything with natural flavors, because who knows what's in there. But for now, this is pretty good comparatively to like Coffee Mate or whatever. I'm on the hunt for something that's sweet and delicious and creamy, but doesn't have a bunch of junky ingredients and not too much sugar. I don't know. It's very hard to find that. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Being able to have a balcony and be able to just like see out really makes a difference. Or it kind of reminds me of being able to just look out my windows of my van. Not the same, because it's the same view every day, which is fine. But it does give me a chance to just be out here, read my Bible, journal, and just kind of, you know, sit and relax. a couple weeks ago, my friend Rachel passed away unexpectedly. And then this past week, one of my family members had an emergency medical issue that could have been life-threatening. And it's just been a lot of heaviness on my mind. And taking walks is one of those things that I can do to, like, if I'm just sitting in the house, just ruminating and being like in grief, and just like, even after I got up this morning and had some coffee and Bible time, I just went back to bed. And it overtakes you because it's hard to process a lot of heavy information, especially when you're by yourself, when you live alone. So I like to take a lot of walks, but the problem with Texas is that it's either always raining or always hot and sweaty. Now, there are some times where it's really nice, but man, the majority of the time when I want to go take walks, it's just a bummer. But I mean, today it's hot. I'm sweaty. But I just had to get out of the house and do something with my day. And with all this heavy news and information, it's really got me contemplating where I'm supposed to be. And I don't even know if there's a place I'm supposed to be. I don't know if there's a place where anyone is supposed to be. I would imagine so, because a lot of people get in one place or they stay in their same house like for all their lives or whatever. And some people just really thrive in that environment. And for me, I don't know if it's because we moved a lot when I was a kid, or if just something within a person, like a nomadic spirit. And I don't mean it like a demonic spirit. I just mean like that feeling of wanting to see more and explore and just see what's out there. I don't know. I think a lot of people do have that. And I feel like I have that as well. So even when I was living in other apartments or houses, after a couple years, I just felt like I just needed to move and go somewhere else and just try something else. And here we are, almost 2 years into me being in Texas, and I just don't feel like I've latched on. And it's pretty unfortunate because I've really tried to make a good go of it. When I moved here, I was like, I'm here for good. My 2 sons live here. This is just going to be it. And I moved to a pretty smallish town, about 30 minutes outside of Dallas. I like it because it's pretty and it's peaceful. I mean, got a nice big park, and I'm able to take walks fairly close to where I live. And, there's a lot of good parts, but I just haven't really made very many friends. And it's not for lack of trying. I've joined a lot of groups. I've gone to a lot of little, meetup events. And some of the people just weren't aligned, just personality wise. Some people had a lot of family drama that I am just at that phase that I just don't want to be involved in people's situations that might become dangerous for me. Or the main one is that where I live, it's not close to where a lot of other people live that are like single and in that stage of their life where they're still out getting exploring and, doing things without their husbands. So I find that when I meet people, they're like, oh, I live in whatever, Richardson or Frisco or Fort Worth or, somewhere else. And that's like 45 minutes to an hour and sometimes longer with traffic. I'm okay with driving, but it's like, you just want to have those friends where you could be like, hey, you want to go grab a coffee? And it's like 10 minutes away. Or like you could walk out of your place and just like go walk to a cafe or whatever. And I just don't see that with Texas because it's so darn big. It's so spread out. And the other thing that I've become aware of is, even though I knew that there's not really mountains here, I didn't really think about how much I got out in nature. I don't know, this is a weird way to say it, but like, it's not like I was a hiking queen, but when I was traveling or when I lived in California, there was the beach, and you were like 2 hours away from like where it snows, and you can go to the forest, and you can go to the desert and mountains, and just lots of different options. Texas is going to be Texas, is going to be Texas, no matter where you go. A couple months ago, a thought came into my head like, maybe this isn't your place. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I moved here, I'm committed to it. And you know when you get a thought and your initial thought is like, no, but then that thought just keeps creeping up on the back of your brain? It's what's been happening. And I've been trying to swat it away, but then I've just started praying about it. Like, what is that? Am I supposed to tough it out and like just be here and just become more settled and just fight that and just become content? Or is this like an inner knowing, you know, or something like that? But I'm curious if you have that feeling. I want to know from more people, because I have a lot of nomadic friends. So a lot of us say the same thing, like, no, I don't feel settled. I feel like I always need to get out and do something. But there's also a lot of people that don't have that. And I'd be curious to know how it is for you. Do you feel settled? Did you get somewhere and just make yourself settled? I am really curious to know. Is somebody missing a wild turkey? Is that a chicken or a turkey? Bro, where'd you come from? Whoa! I didn't know that they could fly. Majestic. Don't worry, I'm not gonna eat you. Is that like a buzzard or a vulture? What is that? Weird. I was just walking by and reading this sign. College hunks moving, and then it says streets free. I think you might need to stay in college because that should be stress free, bro. What the heck? That's hilarious. And some of you might be asking, well, why don't you just move to like the city, like Dallas, or another place that has more singles or more like liveliness? And I could, and I did look. I've been looking at different places, like when my lease comes up for renewal, like maybe I should move to a more like populated area. So I would still be around my sons, but also I'd be in a more populated area. But like, since I've been here almost 2 years, I've been checking out all kinds of places, and nothing just like calls to me. Like, it's not a place that I really feel like I really fit in. I don't know. Oh, the cemetery. This is one of the places that I feel most calm, and specifically this one, because it's got so many beautiful trees. Look at the beautiful tree arches that are just coming together, and you have this long, beautiful path to just walk and reflect. And I've said this before, but the reason that I love cemeteries is because the people that have lived and passed away, they hold the secrets that we don't know about. And if they could speak, they would tell us what's most important. And I think internally, our spirit knows what it really is. I think we all know that the key to life is love and relationships and caring for one another. And it really just is so simple. And I bet that almost everybody in this cemetery wishes they could share that and say, don't worry about all the rest, because it doesn't really matter. Now, of course, we're living, so we do have to concern ourselves with things. And this is what kind of keeps me coming back to, like, where do I belong? Where do I fit in? And I think what I've come to is that you fit in wherever God calls you, number one, and number two, wherever you build community or build relationships. Although I've really tried here, I don't know that it hasn't really been fruitful. And I don't know if it's just because I don't love the environment here. Like, also, I have to hurry up because
I'm almost out of battery. And for those OG snack packers, you know what used to happen to my phone whenever I'd be outside in the heat. It's overheating, and so I keep getting a message saying it's gonna shut down. But I really am at a crossroads because the main question I keep coming back to is, where do I belong? And then the secondary is, I would have to choose basically between my children, which are not children, they're grown, and my parents, because they live on the West Coast. They used to live in California and now they moved to Arizona. And it's just very difficult because as an adult, you wanna be there for your whole family, but when your family's spread out into different states, in different locations, and sometimes in different countries, it's just not an easy choice. And you know, I know there's flights and you could stay in touch like on, you know, FaceTime and Zoom calls and stuff like that, but you really want to give a hug to your family, you know, at times. One of the things is if I decide to stay here, let me go on down this other way, because I'm hot and sweaty. Whew, it is hot. This maybe wasn't a good idea to do it in the afternoon. But if I stay here, if I feel the same way I've been feeling now, which is pretty lonely and pretty isolated, I think that's not going to be good for me mentally long term. The small town vibe is like a lot of married people or a lot of married people with kids, and they have their own active lifestyles, and it's just not quite the same when you're single in your 50s. What would you do? And also, as you get older, especially when you get in your 50s, it is a real thing. I don't know, probably for guys too, but especially as women, you just feel invisible. You feel like no one's paying attention to you. And I'm like, I need to be around more people, give myself a better chance to find a partner and to find people and to join groups and not be so far away from activities that I'm just like cutting myself out. Like I have to give myself the best shot because no one's going to solve this problem except for me. I have faith that it's going to get better, but I have to put some actions toward it. So I'm really in a heavy place of contemplation, about thinking about what's next for my life. Is it here? Is it somewhere else? Is it back on the road? I don't know. It's a lot of decisions. Yeah, I'm kind of at a crossroads. So which road should I choose? I don't know. Also, if we're keeping it real, it is so hot and sweaty and I have to walk a couple miles back. I'm thinking about getting an Uber. This is not the first time. The Uber driver would be like, ma'am, it's like a half a mile from here. And I'd be like, sir, do you see how hot and sweaty I am? This isn't the first time that I've thought about calling an Uber halfway through my walk. It's just so hot and sweaty. Anyways, I know there might be some comments like, why are you laughing in a cemetery? But I'm sure the people here wouldn't mind because I'm sure they were full of joy when they were alive. So let's just celebrate life and not be thinking of all the negative stuff. So anyways, until next time, bye for now.
Snack time.